Thinking, F31, of divorcing husband, M33. My husband, M33, and I, F31, have been together for about 7 years now, married for 3. The first 4YRs was long distance, between the US and Europe. I moved to Europe like 4 months after getting married, for love, for him. But I also did it because I wanted to live in Europe. Plus, he was still in school, whereas I was done with my schooling and was working. From the very beginning of our relationship, I made it clear that we both needed to be flexible and open to living in either place, US or Europe. We were both open to it, and neither of us had a need or deep desire to settle down in one country or the other. I'm very much still in love with my husband, but this past year has been very challenging. It became clear to me that having kids in Europe was a no for me because he does not have family or a support system to count on. His family is toxic and has recently dragged him down, to the point of him becoming depressed and getting panic attacks. Meanwhile, in the US, I have a supportive family that isn't perfect but respects boundaries and is very caring, physically and mentally, and my husband considers them his support system. He has developed a deep relationship with my parents. I have tried so many times to have conversations about us moving and to start planning, like getting a financial advisor to help, or him taking another course that will help with job searching. He does not have a bachelor's, he works in IT. He always expresses his fears, or gets defensive, and it would lead to fights. Then he apologizes and says he is willing to move. But it has been a year, and there has been no action on his part, initiative, or excitement to plan the move to the US. What are your thoughts or advice? On top of this, there have been instances when I don't feel seen or loved by my husband, most recently on my birthday. I planned the whole trip for my birthday, and I did not receive a small gift or thoughtful moment. Sometimes it feels like he doesn't respect my values. P.S. We did couples counseling for like 3 months, my idea, and he was reluctant at first but then found it super great and helpful, but he has never brought it up again. 1. Welcome to Our Relationship Cost Advice. Please make sure you read our rules here. Link. We'd like to take this time to remind users that we do not allow any type of "am I the asshole?" or situations or content involving minors. Link. We do not allow users to privately message other users based on their posts here. Users found to be engaging in this conduct will be banned. We highly encourage OP to turn off the ability to be privately messaged in their settings. Any sort of name-calling, insults, etc. will result in the comment being removed and the user being banned, including but not limited to slut, bitch, whore, for the streets, etc. It does not matter to whom you are referring. All advice given must be good, ethical advice. Joke advice or advice that is conspiratorial or just plain terrible will be removed, and users might be subject to a ban. No referencing hateful subreddits and/or their rhetoric. Examples include, but is not limited to, red, blue, black, purple pill, PUA, FDS, MGTW, etc. This includes, but is not limited to, referring to people as alpha, beta, calling yourself or users friend-zoned, referring to people as Chads, Tyrones, or Stacys, Pick-me's, or porn-sick. Any infractions of this rule will result in a ban. This is not an all-inclusive list. All bans in this subreddit are permanent. You don't get a free pass. Anyone found to be directly messaging users for any reason whatsoever will be banned. What we cannot give advice on: rants, unsolicited advice, medical conditions, advice, mental illness, letters to an ex, body counts or number of sexual partners, legal problems, financial problems, situations involving minors and/or abuse, violence, sexual, emotional, etc. All of these will be removed and locked. This is not an all-inclusive list. If you have any questions, please message the mods. Link. This is an automatic comment that appears on all posts. This comment does not necessarily mean your post violates any rules. I am a bot, and this action was performed automatically, please contact the moderators of this subreddit. Message, compose, to, r, relationship, hot advice, if you have any questions or concerns. 2. I would move back to the U.S. and see if he follows or arrange the move for you both straight up. If he has mental health issues, lack of support from family and panic attacks and fears about moving, well, how is he meant to arrange it? If you're married and you want it to work out, you say you love him, why don't you shoulder this burden and move together? Another point is that the job market at the moment in many countries is brutal. Are you sure he will get a job? Is returning to the U.S. feasible for you both, especially with the administration currently? Many people are leaving the U.S. rather than staying. Finally, my fiancé and I did LDR and closed the gap. Sometimes when we meet, move in, close the gap, the other person we can realize that we built a fantasy in our head of who they are. Or perhaps they built a fantasy of who they are in their head. If he hasn't made efforts to move to the U.S. for a year but says that he will, he sounds like he is giving you lip service or living in a different reality. Sometimes this can be duplicitous, and other times this can be a long-term dissociation from living with neglectful or abusive parents, Ta's family. What I'm trying to say is, it sounds like you're both doing your best. That doesn't mean you should stay and live a half-life or forever wait for him. If I was in your position, I would return to the U.S. with a deadline for my husband to move with me, and I would move solo with a deadline that he would join within 6 months or an agreed time. Then I would file for divorce if he didn't follow. You can't make someone meet you halfway, and it sounds like he doesn't have capacity to meet you anywhere, whether that's doing things for your birthday or immigrating as promised. That's a shit excuse, but mental health conditions can make people inherently selfish. 3. Do you love him? Does he love you? Assuming the answer is yes to both questions, rather than seeking divorce, simply tell him you are moving back to the States, resign from your job, start separation asset-wise. He has stalled before, thinks he can again, take that off the table. Reverse the order of divorce, send moving back, it will keep hope alive for you two. Divorce is the last step, not second to last step. 4. Seems like a solution is for you to move. Then he has a choice to follow or not. That would clarify where he stands and how he values you. 5. Have you considered that the USA right now is an extremely intimidating country to immigrate to? Your family as a support system will be entirely irrelevant if your husband finds himself in a detention center.